Listen, I need to run. Thank you. I'll see you later. Hi.
Hello? Want to talk about Lily?
Me too. Come on in.
It's the first day of work. I thought it might be a bit of a morale booster to walk in with the boss.
It's nice. You know, Zach, sometimes I think I've been overly protective of her. Sometimes I don't think I've been protective enough. And I regret that.
How about us? Are we okay? You all right with her working the campus?
Tell you, Zach, Lily hasn't been so excited about anything since she thought she was going to set up house with Jonathan Lavery.
Are you okay with her working with me?
Well, honestly, I haven't always agreed with what you do or how you do it, but what you did for Kendall, man.
I did that. I put her in danger. It was
But
me.
becoming associated with Campus Industries again, I know that could be easy for you. But you did it for Kendall and Bianca, for the family, and I admire that. Thank you.
You would have done the same thing.
Hope so. Anything you need, or Kendall, or Spike, or the little one on the way, you just let me know. I owe you.
Well, not for hiring Lily. I wanted to work for me. She's great with numbers, and I do trust her.
Well, if that's what you're looking for, she's your girl, no doubt. And here she is. Morning, sweetheart.
Hello?
Honey, you ready to go?
I thought you wanted to come in.
She who?
The woman that was peeking outside the window.
Honey, there wasn't anybody back there.
Nothing out there either.
But she was right out there, and her shoes measured 9.9 inches from heel and print to toe. That's a size 8. And I was looking down on her from my window, so I can't estimate her height, but her weight is approximately 110 to 120 pounds.
How did you get that?
Well, her heel's only stuck into the dirt about this much, and mine's only stuck in about 1/8 of that. So I used my weight as a comparative measure. It's simple math.
Watson?
And I know I'm not wearing 4-inch heels, but I stuck a piece of wood the same width as her heel under my shoe and put my weight on it.
So it wasn't Erica.
Well, Barbara hasn't gotten up yet.
It's a mystery. Thank you very much for moving that red table.
No problem. I don't really like it either. Now, as far as your workstation, I'm going to make sure that there's not too much foot traffic. You have to deal with too many people, and now I don't want anyone walking in wearing red.
Oh, that's a very good plan.
Okay. As far as your job goes, I think we're going to have to make it up as we go along. I want you to make phone calls, appointments, go over charts and projections, that kind of stuff, and clue me in because, well, I'm new myself.
Well, have you thought of a new name for the company yet?
Still thinking about it.
Oh, well, I've prepared a list of possibilities if you want to see it.
Sure.
Well, I'm only up to names starting with the letter J, and I'm going alphabetically. But all the employees seem very nice, and you could never judge by facial expressions that the company's named after a murderer.
Yeah. People look at me sometimes and I think all they see are the crimes of my father.
Why? That doesn't make any sense at all. You were entirely against them. You know, I could write a memo and let everyone know that.
That was the reason why I hired you, but let's hold off on the memo. Let's get started on
Wait!
something else. What?
This carpet was vacuumed last night or this morning.
I hope so.
Tracks. Right there.
Tracks. What do you,
This is the heel. This is the ball of the foot. Same size shoe.
Okay.
Same color as the dirt in our flower beds. I think that woman is here.
So much for your mystery.
A lack of evidence on this floor doesn't mean that the woman wasn't in this room.
You checked every woman's shoe outside.
But it doesn't mean she wasn't here. Not a lot of people have access to your office, right?
Right.
And none of your assistants were wearing the right size shoe or the right style to make that print. Does the woman that cleans your office vacuum in heels? And if so, would she be as careless as to wear them in dirt before cleaning?
I don't know.
You know, I know this isn't on my list of assignments and duties, but I could solve mysteries such as this for you, and I wouldn't even bill you for overtime.
I think it'll work itself out. Let's,
Do you have a lot of mystery women coming in here?
No, Kendall really doesn't like mystery women that much.
Well, I'll figure this out for you.
Hello.
What size shoe do you wear?
8? Why?
Is that a 4-inch heel?
Yes.
You were looking in the window outside my house.
You live at 32 Chestnut Lane?
You were standing in the perennial garden.
I'm sorry if I scared you.
Oh, no, you didn't scare me. I solved mysteries.
Okay. Talk to Joanne. Have her explain the phone system to you. And then hold all my calls, all right?
Don't believe anything she says. Write it down, and I'll fact check it later.
So who are you? And why are you following me?
You really don't know? Have I changed that much?
Yes, Lily, I think it's awesome that you're working for Zach. It's great. Right, but when he told you to hold all calls, that didn't mean me. Well, because I'm his wife. Oh, it's just different. Okay, look, why don't you ask him? I'm sure when he hears that it's me, he'll be totally cool with it, and he won't mind you interrupting him. Yes, I realize that, but sometimes you have to interrupt people if it's important, so... Lily, please, can you just ask him? Please, just this once.
Do I know you?
I'm so homesick, so alone in this great big house. Thank God you're here to talk to Alex.
Oh, my God, Hannah.
Alex, aren't you going to give your old friend a hug?
I looked for you for so long.
Well, you're not the only one who knows how to hide.
I don't know what to say. How long have you been here?
A day or two. That girl was right. I have been checking you out.
You have, huh? You caught me completely off guard.
I also saw you at the cemetery.
So you know.
Yes. I saw our son's grave.
Oh, Lord. You'd think Lily was Secret Service and Zach was the president. Did he give her a headset, too?
Ethan looked for you. A long time.
I wish I would have known it was Ethan on my trail. I thought it was your father, and I was determined he would never find me.
He didn't. You were lucky.
That's why I left Ethan. Left him for another woman to raise. He raised connections between us, so that bastard would never find his grandson.
So what happened? But,
I became a new woman. And I started a new life.
you did well for yourself. I mean, you looked great and...
I've done extremely well for myself. I landed a job with an import company in the Far East just in time for China's economic reforms to open up the market.
Continent away from my father. That didn't hurt.
One of the best perks. A year and a half ago, I moved to Singapore, and that's where I found out about Alexander's supposed death, about you, alive, and Ethan. There were no more reasons to hide. I was on my way here when I found out about Ethan, and my reunion dreams came to an end. My son is dead, and I didn't get to know him.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry your father put you through more hell.
I'd be sorry for the people he killed.
Then you said that your wife is okay.
You know, she's fine. He tried to get to her, but she's fine.
I'm so glad. He won't ever get out, will he?
You'll never have to face my father again, I promise you.
Thank you, Alex. I'm sorry, it's Zach, right? Pleased to meet you, Zach Slater. It's hard to imagine you in charge of Cambius Industries. All those summer nights we spent. The way you talked about your father, your disdain for all he stood for. Anything with the name Cambius.
Somebody had to take this legacy, turn it into something good.
Well, that's wonderful to hear.
When Ethan started, I'm sorry. If there's anything I can do...
Zach, please. I'm not looking to open up old wounds. You and I were kids back then. You don't owe me anything. That's not why I'm here.
Why are you here?
You invited me. I cashed out of the import business last year. I've been looking for something new. Challenge. One of your headhunters called, said Cambius is looking to fill an executive officer position.
We are.
When I found out you were in charge, I sent in my resume. We had an interview. Here I am.
Well, that's surprising.
See? This is me.
Ah.
I guess it's safe to change it back, right? My name back?
Mm-hmm. No wonder this was on top. You really did do well for yourself.
I've been a very fortunate woman in many ways.
So you interested? In the job? It's yours if you want it.
I am interested. There's just something I have to do before I make that decision. I want to know all about my son. I want to meet the people he knew. I want to know what he loved. Then I'll know if I can stay.
My God, getting through Lily is... Sorry, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you had someone in here.
Speaking of people that knew Ethan, this is Kendall, my wife. Hannah Nichols. Ethan's mom.
Ethan's mother? Hannah. Well, thank God you're okay.
Kendall Hart Slater. My wife.
I can't tell you how great it is to meet you. Zach and I, we were afraid that his father may have gotten to you.
He did in his own way. Alexander is the reason I had to change my name, hide who I really was, abandon everything that was Hannah Nichols except for her pain. I outlived a son I never knew.
So Ethan swept Simone right into his arms and carried her over the puddle. But he never put her down. He carried her all the way to the restaurant. That's the kind of guy he was.
I'm sorry. These are wonderful stories, but this is a lot to take in.
The analysis from the Paris office was just delivered.
Go ahead, it's fine.
I'll be back.
Hannah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I hope I'm not upsetting you. I just want you to know what an amazing man your son was.
You don't have to apologize. It's wonderful to hear that he was happy and loved by this woman, at least.
Do you know how things were between Ethan and Zach?
Well, Zach completely rejected Ethan.
No, Zach did that out of love, Hannah. He knew what it meant to be a Cambius. He wanted to protect his son from suffering the way he did himself.
Well, he seemed to have survived very well.
Zach saw his father kill his mother.
Oh, my God. Well, no wonder Zach hated him so much.
Well, Zach blocked all of that out. But he knew what it meant to be a Cambius. He knew how evil that name was. So Zach did the only thing that he thought he could do, the only thing that he thought was best for his son. Zach rejected his son to protect him. Okay, listen, I know this is hard for you to hear, and it's hard for Zach to even think about. But please, Hannah, don't hold this against Zach. He hated what his father put you through. The fact that you had to give Ethan away and that neither of you were able to raise him, Zach blames himself for that. He also blames himself for the murders. Zach's father is still torturing him.
And you can relate to him because his father tortured you too.
There was no reason for any of these women to die. They had no connection to Alexander. He didn't even hold a grudge against any of them. They died for effect. And the grand finale was my death. Only I'm still here and they're all gone.
I am so sorry.
Me too. The whole thing, you would not believe it. It was the worst nightmare that you could ever imagine. You know, I have a little boy. And there were so many times that I thought I would never see him again. And that he would never know how much I loved him. Listen to me. Ethan knew. He knew that you gave him up to save him. And he knew what an enormous amount of love that took. Your son died knowing that he was loved. Is everything okay? What happened?
Nothing. Everything's fine. We got an offer in one of our subsidiaries by a company called LTB.
Chop shop buyers. You should get in touch with Rev in direct competition. Give them a chance to put the screws to LTB. You'll end up with 20% more of what the company's worth.
How do you know all of this?
Conference in Bangkok. The LTB man talks a lot over vodka.
Well, you just sealed your deal here. Gotta take the job now.
I'll let you know soon. Kendall, it was really nice to talk with you.
You too.
I'll be in touch.
That woman walked through this door and completely changed your life. Hannah's alive, and you're different. The weight is lifted, and that fear is gone. I can see it's totally gone. And she's okay, Zach. I mean, she's better than okay. That woman has made quite a life for herself.
And that bastard will never get near her again. I've been so angry missing out on Ethan's life, but at least I had a chance to know him. I can just imagine what she suffered and what she went through.
Well, I mean, it killed me to give Spike up to keep him safe. That was just a few weeks.
It takes an amazing woman.
True. And apparently, everything that she touches turns to gold. This is unbelievable. Isn't it weird that instead of my ex working here, it could be your ex?
It's not that weird because we are incredibly mature as a couple.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, you keep telling yourself that. Just go with that.
What do you want from me?
What do you think I want from you?
Huh? You want this?
A piece of this.
Want a piece of this? Mm-hmm. Yeah? Mm-hmm.